Evening. Been a while since I've done one of these. Uh, just got back a couple days ago from my third deployment. Went to Guam, Philippines, and Japan. And I'm glad I got to go to Japan. And I'll show you guys what I got. First and foremost, well, I went to Guam and I got a Monster Energy hat. I think from an ABC store, but I thought those were big in Hawaii. Anyway, and I got bored and wrote Guam on there. Whatever. Kind of a cool keepsake. I actually got this from the States. Yeah, Yu Hakusho. Anyway, Guam. I found, of all things, Peppy from Star Fox, boxed. It says $19.99 at the top. However, I talked to him at this kid store. I was like, look, the box is beat up. I was like, half off. I got $10 right now. I'll give you $10. They said sold, and I was like, this is cool. I'm taking this. Yeah, that was kind of cool. Too bad it doesn't say it's the Do the Barrel Roll edition, but you know. Anyway. Okay. Granted, I don't speak kanji. And it's one of the greatest RPGs of all time. I think now that since I said that, those of you who watch my channel and or play video games should already know what it is. A boxed Super Famicom Chrono Trigger. And I think I paid maybe $6 to $10 American at Hard Off, which is their version of like Book Off. They have Book Offs as well. I got this in Japan, and Akihabara. Akihabara is literally a city, for those of you who have never been, of just anime and video games. And I only got one anime-related item, actually, other than perhaps Chrono Trigger. You know, granted, JRPGs are mostly anime-based anyway, or at least in my opinion, of course. I do have a thing of anime, or manga, if you will. I will show you that momentarily. But yeah, box Chrono Trigger. I mean, the box art's classic. Obviously, I really like the American version just because it's just what we had over here in the States. But this is really cool as well. I opened it up, and it has an advertisement for like Satellaview. Even just the inside of their boxes are just different than what we had too. It has the clear plastic that holds the cassette rather than the white cardboard that we had here in the States. But yeah, box Chrono Trigger. You know, with Isla on the back of the Pteranodon there, and all your other favorite classic characters here. I'm surprised they don't have Magus on the front, but anyway, still awesome. I'm glad I have it. You know, it says the yen price right there, $29.80, I believe. Yeah. I took off as much as I could without damaging the box, but yeah, come on, it's Chrono Trigger. Okay, over there, obviously, mostly everything is Japan-based. They do have very, very few American stuff, like how over here we import Japanese and we're like, oh, it's so much cheaper. Over there, their Japanese games are just ridiculously cheap. And I got these all at Trader, except for two of them I got at a Book Off, like ridiculously cheap, maybe like $1 American. But I found a Clockwork Knight, the first one. You know, it's in great condition. And even the music in this, for what it's worth, is pretty cool. Yeah, it's a standard Sega Saturn game as far as it's not one of the more sought-after ones. But hey, it was super cheap, really cool to have. I'm glad I got to go to Japan. I hope I get to go again, either on my own accord or with the military. Anyway, Panzer Dragoon 1 and 2, Zwei. Luckily, the poster's in there as well. And I booted them up on the Sega Saturn that I have. And it plays just fine. All of them so far. Yeah, I have no complaints. I haven't really played the games. I just wanted to test and see if they worked, which they do. I'm glad they do. And yeah, they were all pretty cheap, maybe 1,800 yen or something at a Trader. I did get to go see Super Potato, but their prices were kind of, you know, and admittedly I was kind of on a budget and limited as space as far as, you know, what items I was able to bring back home. They had Panorama Cotton at one of the Hard Offs as well, and it was one of the collector editions, super huge for like the PS4. I think it was maybe like $30 translated American versus like $80 to $100 here in the States. And I was like, I want it, but it was really, really cool, but just too large. Anyway, Neon Genesis Evangelion, missing the insert in the front. It's entirely in Japanese. I mean, it's just a cool piece to have. You know, I'm not going to be able to play it or read it. Maybe I'll sell it. I really don't know, but it's still really cool. And there's like cutscenes, and granted, I don't understand any of it, but still really cool. Mobile Suit Gundam. It has potential to be a cool game. There's obviously cutscenes in this as well. And like I said, I picked up Sega Saturn because it was just so cheap over there. And I have, I'll show you here in a minute, now I have 2 Japanese Sega Saturns. And I will tell you how much I paid for it too. The second one. First one I paid 120 American about a year ago or so. But yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam. It's cool for what it's worth. I tried it a little more so than the other games. You know, there's definitely still a Japanese barrier in there. And I'm like, I don't know, but... classic anime mech shooting game. I picked up Akira in English. In English. Yeah, I'm glad to have that. You know, I admittedly haven't started it yet. I'm still reading From Hell, the Alan Moore graphic novel. I gotta finish that before I read this, otherwise I'm just gonna get lost in the sauce. But who hasn't seen the movie? Never read the graphic novel, but movie, come on, classic. Just the artwork is just alone amazing. You know, it says 25 American, which probably translates well to what I probably paid over there in yen. I don't remember what it was, but anyway. I picked this up too. Japanese Sega Saturn. The other model. I was going to say I had the white one. Yeah, it was a little beat up, and it was in one of those, I think, trader or book off bins, and it was like, there was a note on it, and I had to have somebody translate it to me at the register. They were like, we don't know if it works, but good luck. I think it was like 1,100 yen, and I was like, $8 American? I was like, yeah, I'm paying that, because I know, give or take, I would have paid probably I can't even speak English, probably $120 to $200 American here in the States to get it. I opened it. You know, looked inside, looked at the battery pack where the memory is and so forth, the cartridge input, everything's all there. It probably could be afforded to be cleaned a little better. I probably will at some point. When I turned it on, tested it with my cables, the red access light came on. It read discs for like a minute. Probably maybe just needs like the laser cleaned or just properly cleaned and so forth to begin with. You know, it's probably been a long time since this thing's been booted up. And I got another controller that goes along with it. Yeah, it's a little stained from colors, but I was like, even if it doesn't work, I was like, it's a really cool shelf piece. It's Sega Saturn. And I even got a matching watch in one of their little vending machines, you know, for like, what, I guess a quarter or two. And it's Virtua Fighter. I'm not a big fighting game fan, but I was like, it's still really cool, and it tells me the time, you know, for however long the battery lasts. But, you know, yeah, super cool. And I guess, I actually did get some Famicom games too. I will show you. They had Kid Nicky Radical Ninja 3. And I passed up on it. I shouldn't have. It was like maybe 2,600 yen. I should have just, I think it was like translated maybe like, I don't know, $20 American. I should have just friggin' got it, and I didn't. Should have. But anyway, this was like one of the first stops I made. And it was one of those like outdoor vendors, and I got YY World 1, authentic Konami classic, you know, really cool. I tested it on my Famicom. They all 3 work, the ones that I got. I wasn't able to emulate those on my Mini, so admittedly, I bought a Famicom so I can play, in my opinion, my own entire library. YY World 2, found that. These are all the same like little outdoor vendor. And super cool. I'm glad to have this. I was going to say, Konami games are just phenomenal. And Kid Dracula, Konami, also classic. This one was like wrapped in a bunch of stuff. The other 2, they were wrapped, but not as much as this one. And I'm like, yeah, it's a cool game. I mean, I have it emulated on my Game Boy, but, you know, super, super cool. I'm so stoked to have these all. Still missing Holy Diver, Crisis Force, Mr. Gimmick, and I'm sure maybe 2 or 3 others in order to have my own version of a full library for Famicom and Nintendo and so forth. But yeah, that's what I picked up on my trip overseas. I'm so stoked to have this like little 10-year-old Sega Saturn watch. I was like, that's so cool. They had PS1 watches as well. I didn't have any more change at the time, and their vending machines are just insane. They're everywhere. It's not just like entertainment, you know, it's drinks, they have food, they have underwear, cigarettes, like, and it's every 10 to 100 feet, there's a vending machine at every corner, everywhere you go. Super cool. Yeah, Japan is awesome. Highly recommended that you guys go. I'll show you something else too before I go. I kind of cleaned up and updated my stack of games and so forth. It's just cleaner. I can thank Retrobird for that. Yeah, I watched his game collecting, and it just looked really cool, much neater this way. And he was talking about the Nintendo GameCube logo. I flipped it up right, and I honestly have never seen anybody do that, and I just think it looks much cooler that way. My Sega Saturn games, well, the two that I already had, Christmas Nights and Fantasy Zone. Dreamcast, my original Xbox games. Wii and Halo 3 over there, Xbox sign. Cheat code book, B-Wings for Famicom, and my Xbox One collection. Yeah, I thought I cleaned it up and it just looks better. I'm happy to have that. So, now that I'm back, I hope to play some games and I hope to talk to you guys. Have a good night.